Trading and the technicals is not what you guys are struggling with. Let's be honest here. So today we're going to go over some key psychological elements that you have to get locked down if you want to be a profitable trader. So we're just going to jump right in with number one. Stop thinking you're going to get rich off of day trading. All right. Matter of fact, don't even think you're going to get rich. Don't go in with that mindset. Go in with the mindset of, I'm going to replace my 9 to 5 with trading. Now, what is that number going to look like? It's going to be different for everybody, but I always say, like, realistically, $5,000 a month after tax, you can live very comfortably, and that is very, very achievable with trading. Even like taking the minimal amount of payouts, that's going to be like your reality, 5,000 after tax. Now, why do I say this? Because if you go into trading with the mentality that you're going to get rich, you think you're going to get rich quick, and reality is you're not. You're not going to get rich quick. Okay, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. I hate to be that person, but you're not. You're just not. So, but if you can quit your 9 to 5 with trading profits, you're actually the GOAT. Like, you've achieved more than 99% of people ever achieve. 99% of people go to a job. They wake up in the morning and they go to a job and they call another grown man, they call him boss, which is gay. And then they spend 5 days at their job low-key wanting to kill themselves because they hate their life, and then they get 2 days as a weekend. I remember my first $4,000 month. I had 2 of those, and then I quit my job, and I was like, okay, I can do this consistently now. That was a little bit too early, okay? I think I had a buffer of a little bit over 10K when I quit my job, which is, I guess good for the age. I made 10K trading the NASDAQ online, made that from my computer, so that's good. Don't burn the boats too soon, because when you actually have to rely on trading, you have a little bit of a psychological shift, and you start worrying more about the individual trades that you're in, because you're like, I really need this trade to eat this week, and that is just not a good mentality to have. So either have a big buffer or keep working a job until you have a big enough buffer, or until you know for certain that you are consistent within the markets, you can make consistent profits every month. Without the safety net, you might not make the best decisions based on your emotions, right? We don't want to act based on our emotions when it comes to trading. That is gonna fuck us up a lot. Trust me. Now, number 2, and this kind of intertwines with number 1, don't believe everything you see online. Don't believe everyone you see flexing cars, watches, whatever. Watches, jewelry, clothes, that can be faked easily. People even buy replica cash. Like, they buy stacks of cash that are fake. Like, just everything that you watch it with like a very critical eye. Be very critical to everything you see, and don't let it affect you. Don't be like, I need this now, I need this yesterday. Because then you're going to act based on that, and you're going to make terrible decisions. I used to do this. I'm so guilty of this. I would see like an SVJ or a GT3 online, and I had basically, like, that was so far away. And I was like, shit, I need this, and I need this yesterday. And so I start pushing buttons, right? Because I'm a trader. I know that I can print money, blah, blah, blah. I start pushing buttons. I start taking random ass trades, over leveraging, just making stupid decisions, and setting myself back even further, right? That goal that I had, and I tried to achieve that in one day, that goal is now further away, okay? You have to understand this. You cannot rush the process. It's going to take steps, right? You have to get that 2K payout, then you have to get the 4K payout, then you have to get the 6K payout. Then you can start worrying about 10K months, which, in my opinion, great milestone to have. And the thing is, when you make 10K a month, it's going to be easier to get to that 100K month, whatever you want, right? And then when you get to the 100K a month, you would think about a 10K a month and be like, what the fuck? If I made 10K a month right now, I would kill myself. I would be so stressed out. Like, it's so weird because like a couple of years ago, 10K to me was a lot of money. Now it's fucking nothing. But I knew that, I mean, it went faster than I thought it would. And the reason that it went so fast is because I was patient, right? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. My dog thinks it's a T-Rex and that it can conquer anything on earth. Tuva. No. No. Anyways, when I started taking things slow, I got my first 10K month. I think it was 12K. I had a 12K month, and after that, it just scaled. I never went back to that, right? That was the lowest I ever had, was the 12K month. After that, it was like, after that 12K month, I never saw 12K a month again. I made consistently more than that every month since that. And so that just goes to show, and it proves that if you can just get the milestones. Don't think about the end achievement. Don't think about the end goal. Get the milestones. Hit the milestones. For every milestone, you aim for the next one, right? This is going to make things so much smoother, and it's going to make things go so much faster because you're not going to make stupid decisions and try to get that $1 million next week, right? You have your system, you take your setup, you trust your setup, you trust your system, trust the numbers, and trust the time, and then things are going to start to go smoothly. Here's the mic. You want to say something? She's not the brightest. She's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but we're getting there. Getting your first big month, or like your first 10K month, is like scoring the first goal at a football match, right? Now, your mentality shifts. You get motivated. You know you can score goals. You know you can score that next goal because you just scored a goal. You know you can do it, right? That is going to shift your chemistry, literally shift your brain chemistry. You're going to push on a different level because now you know that it's possible, right? You've done it once, you can do it again. I think I saw this on, I think, Rob the Bank's Instagram. And it was an experiment about rats. And they dropped rats in like a big tub of water that they could not get out of. And they swam for like 15 minutes until they gave up. And then they got pulled out of the tub. And they let them recover everything. And then they put them back in the tub. And they swam for like 60 hours. It was some crazy number like that. Because they knew they had been pulled out of it once, and they thought they were going to get pulled out of it twice. So they swam for 60 hours until they gave up. And that just goes to show how different your brain and your body works when you actually have some hope, right? You've done it before, you can do it again. You get less scared, and you start to perform better. Because you know you have the skills. You know if you have the discipline, you know that you have the skills, right? So if you can just get to that first goal, which for a lot of people is just the first payout, right? No matter how small it is, if it's a $1,000 payout, that's a first goal. For me, it was like the first 10K month, like the first 5-figure month, I got that kick where I was like, shit, I can do this. I can actually do this. It is actually possible. I don't have to work a job for the rest of my life. And it is a great feeling, man. It's an insane feeling. And from there, it just goes up. And you might be like, oh, it's hard, it's too hard, blah, blah. Bro, anything worth doing is going to be fucking hard, okay? Don't expect it to be easy. You're trying to do something that 99.5% of people will never do. How can you sit there and be like, how do you stay motivated, bro? I can't stay motivated. Bro, think about the alternative. You clock in at a job for the rest of your life, and you go up to a grown-ass man and you call him boss. He decides when you eat lunch. He decides how long your lunch is. And then you sit there, eat your lunch for 30 minutes, and then you go back to work like a good little slave. Bro, like, oh my God. For a lot of people, that might not sound so bad. But for some people, bro, you'll know if you're this kind of person, that just is not even close to being acceptable. Okay? I'm grateful that people want to do these jobs. But if you're watching this video I'm talking to you and you're not that kind of person. Let's just be real. And I understand that people are different. Some people think it's completely okay. Some people think it's just completely unacceptable. Both are fine. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're this one. A lot of you fuckers, I see you in my comment section. You're arrogant as fuck. I sit there and I try to teach you. I show you all my fucking results. And you're sitting there like, actually, this is wrong. I've seen someone else do it differently. That is actually wrong. It's like, all right, bro, go do your own thing. Then fine, I don't give a fuck. Just stay out of my fucking comment section, dumbass. That is arrogance. When you're seeing someone that has exactly what you want, you don't have a shit, and then you look at this person and then you start judging them. They're doing it wrong. Oh, you're doing it wrong. Oh, yeah, I know you're fucking rich, but you're doing it wrong, bro. It's like, are you fucking stupid? Like, I'm trying to sit here and teach you for free on YouTube, Twitter, all these platforms. I'm giving a bunch of free content. And then you're like, oh, he lives off of his course. I'm sorry, little bro, but I think you're overestimating my course selling abilities here. Selling a course, sure, it's lucrative. Trading, infinitely scalable. How are you gonna, like, I don't know, bro. If you have the skill of trading, it's like you can never go broke. I can lose everything today and I can make it all back in a month. Okay, I can't make it all back in a month, but you get my point. I can make it all back in 6 months, right? I can start with small capital. I can compound that and just scale it infinitely. Is it easy? Fuck no. Do I have the skill now? Yes. Is it way easier now than it was a year ago, 2 years ago? Yes. Anyways, that was a lot of yap. Number 3, be grateful for where you are and the process that you're currently going through. When I was at my lowest point in life, I bought a Bible and I started reading the Bible. And a lot of things started to make sense to me. And I started to be more grateful. And I realized, okay, God is putting me through this for a reason. He's going to give me what I want when I'm ready for it, right? In 2021, I hit a crypto pump and made some money. Was I ready to make that money? No. Did I make stupid decisions with that money? Yes. So I genuinely believe that if you're not ready for money, you're not going to get the money. And you're going to know if you're ready or not. When I was at my absolute lowest, I had no girl, blew everything, blew all of my accounts. I felt like I had no close friends. You not having these things are going to make it so much more fulfilling and so much more euphoric when you actually get them. Like the absence of these things are going to make the presence of them worth 100,000 times more. Like, if you're just born rich, you're born into a fucking trust fund, I don't know, you're born with a hot girlfriend, you're born with a bunch of like-minded friends, you don't appreciate it, bro. Let's be real. You won't appreciate it for a second because you just got it. Didn't put in any work, didn't struggle for it. You never knew the alternative. So, like, when you have to work for shit, it hits different once you get it. It's this feeling of like, oh, holy fuck, I did it. Like, I actually fucking did it. It's this, like, you're proud of yourself. And even if you just made like 5K off trading, be proud of that, bro. That's 5K you made by learning a skill and pushing buttons on a screen. Like, be proud of that. It's just going to scale up and you're going to get better and you're going to make more money. Don't worry. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is just be grateful for hard times. Be grateful that you get to do hard things. And that you get to learn a hard skill. Because learning a hard skill is probably one of the most fulfilling things ever. Because like a high income skill, bro, if you learn a high income skill, you're never going to go broke. It's not like you have a job and you get fired and then you go broke. Like, no. You have that skill is going to stay with you forever. It's an investment in yourself. If you fail, it's not going to be the end of the world. You either try again, you try something else until you get it fucking right. I was about to give up on making money online because I'd been like trying for years and I just couldn't like even get that first paycheck, right? Once I got that though, I was more driven, I was more motivated than ever, because I was like, okay, I can do this now. I can actually fucking do this. And you just get a different level of drive and motivation. Like it's and discipline. It's crazy. A lot of you probably played like GTA, Call of Duty, whatever, and you know that when you actually finish the storyline, right, you get the $20 million or whatever. You play it for a little bit, like maybe for a day or two, and then you just stop playing it because there's no more missions left. There's no more missions to make money, and so you're gonna sit there with this money, and you're like, now what? And it goes to show, and it proves that what fun would it be if you just got it on the first try, or if you just got it on the first day? What fun would it be? It's not gonna be fun. The process of playing the game is always gonna be more fun than actually finishing it. Okay? I need you to understand this. Be grateful that you get to progress and do this thing. I know sometimes it can be demotivating. I was ripping my hair out. I was smashing computer screens. Trust me, I know where you're at. I know where you've been. Like, I've done all that shit. Probably worse shit than you've done. So, but trust me, be grateful for the place that you're at right now. And just know that the feeling that you have inside right now is going to make that feeling of getting there so much more fulfilling, bro. Trust me. All right, next up. Start learning from your mistakes before you actually make them a real problem. So what do I mean by this? For me, I would always blame myself in hindsight, and then I would go and make the exact same mistake 2 days later. And it was so stupid. I don't know why I did it. It was just one of those things where I would say to myself, you have to stop doing this. You can't keep doing this, blah, 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 blah. And I thought I learned from it until I was put back in that situation. I was put back in that position, right? If that was me taking a loss, if that was me taking a win, whatever it was, I would go back in there and I would make the same mistake that I'd made 100 times before, because I could not learn from it until I fucked up real bad. For comparison, imagine me going down the highway, right, going Mach fuck on my bike, not really caring, and then I might have a little close call, and I'll be like, oh shit, that was close, holy fuck, I gotta slow down. And then I slow down for approximately 2 minutes until I go Mach fuck again, right? And then what happens is I'm gonna either fly by a cop and I'm gonna get put to jail, or I'm gonna actually fall going 200 miles per hour and either just fucking die or end up paralyzed. And at that point, it's too late for me to learn that fucking mistake. So basically what I'm trying to say is, don't kill yourself. Don't kill your account until you have to learn that lesson. You can learn that lesson, bro. Trust me, you can learn that lesson before you blow your account. Please. All right, number 5. Stop abandoning your strategy unless it's really bad. If it really sucks, if you're trading like opening range breakouts, I don't even know what the fuck that is. If you're trading a really, really bad, unproven strategy, then sure, change it. But if you have a proven system, you've backtested it, you know other people are making money with it, like a specific model, stop hopping around just because you don't make money on the first week, okay? This used to be me. I would abandon my strategy if I took 2 back-to-back losses. Like, it was just like, oh, okay, I guess this is not working. And then I would go do some other stupid fucking strategy. And then it would be just a cycle that repeated and repeated and repeated. I would never actually get an edge because I would never stick to something. I was looking for like the secret enigma level ICT, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's fucking stupid. You might feel like you're productive by finding the better strategy, but you're just disguising fear with optimization. And in reality, you're not optimizing shit. You're just taking steps backwards at that point. I remember when I committed to like the Powell model that I call it now. A lot of you guys have probably heard of it, learned it, I don't care. When I actually stuck to that, it was, okay, I got the mechanical part of it down, and then you get the bias part of it down. You get like your daily bias, session bias, all that stuff. You get that down. And then from there, that's actually when you start learning, because you're like, okay, you learn the nuances of it. When does it work? Why does it work better here, not there? What days is it in favor of? Like, pair it up with news. Like, look at Forex Factory. Like, what kind of news days does it perform better at? What should it look like leading up to the entry? How should I manage this? When should I put my stop to break even? Like, where do I have my stop? What works? What doesn't work? All of these like intricate little things only come when you actually stick to something for months and months on end. And that's when your system starts to actually gain a real edge. And that's when you start to make money. Okay? Mastery comes from refinement and reflection, not replacement. Tailor your trading style to your psychological flaws. What does this mean? It means if you're a greedy person by nature, or you're impatient, or like I was all these things, right? So for me, it was very hard to stick to like a high win rate but low RR kind of setup, because I would take the loss and the loss in my account would actually be bigger than what I can handle mentally. And so I would go back in there and I would revenge trade, because I was like, I have to make some of this back because this number is way too big. I can't just walk away and lose $1,500, whatever it was. And so I realized pretty quickly into my career that, you know, maybe I should go for lower, like smaller stop losses and sacrifice some win rate. That way I can take like a couple, 3 losses maybe, and just be happy with whatever the outcome is. Because the losses are going to be so much smaller than the winners. Just visually, me looking at that helped me a lot, bro. That helped me a lot with closing my computer. It helped me a lot with just getting off the chart and being like, okay, that's the number I lost today. I'm fine with that number. For a lot of you, you take big losses and you're just not fine with the number, and then you decide to go back in there and push buttons randomly. That is never going to get you anywhere. For some of you, taking like the frequency of losses might be the problem and not the dollar amount, right? So in that case, you should go for like a higher win rate and a lower RR. Hopefully that made sense. This helped me a lot in trading. Like, helped me a lot with revenge trading, greed, impatience, all that stuff. That's actually what helped me find like very specific levels, like with the bottom ticking and top ticking, all that. That was never meant to be like the meme that it is today. I never meant to create 100 little micro niche core sellers that are just scamming you with a PDF, okay? That was not, I cannot take the blame for that, okay? But that's like the whole bottom top ticking thing was created because I could not take big losses. I physically could not take it. I had to like lower my loss size. So I had to lower my stop loss size. And the only way for me to do that was to actually find levels in the market that held. Using entry triggers, right? Where can I enter here and put my stop? Like, I can have a very tight stop in these levels. And then for me, I could justify it and it was fine, okay? That's kind of the origin story of that whole bottom and top ticking thing. I know that's very popular nowadays. People think they have to bottom and top tick to be profitable, but let's be real, guys, you don't, okay? Now this one, I've said this a bunch of times before, but stick to your rules for one singular fucking month. If you can't do that, you just don't want it bad enough. You don't want it at all, actually. Stick to your rules for 1 month and see the results that you're gonna get. What are the rules? For me, personally, these are my rules. You don't have to copy these. You can do whatever you want. But my risk management rules are as follows. If I take a win on the day, completely shut my laptop. No questions asked. If I take a loss, I can de-risk 50%, go back in the market, take one more trade, one more high quality trade. If there isn't one, then I'll just take the one loss. But take one more high quality trade with 50% risk. If that loses, close the laptop. If that wins, close the laptop. Okay? That's my rules. That's fucking simple. I was sticking to that for 1 month. And I was trading the same model for 1 month. And that's when I had my first 12K month, my first 5-figure month. And that's when it all changed. Everything changed from that month. I didn't know it when I went into that month, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'm just going to follow my rules for a month. I didn't know at the time that that was going to change the trajectory of my whole fucking life. But that's the reality of the situation. Like, you can't have an edge without having rules. Like, I didn't even look at my P&L, bro. I didn't even look at my P&L throughout the month. I was busy with exams. I had to study. I had to do all this bullshit. Didn't even look at my P&L after the trade was done. I just closed my laptop. Follow the rules regardless. Like, no deviations, nothing. Closed the laptop, done. And then I checked it, end of the month, eligible for payouts on all of my accounts. And it was just a surreal feeling because I was like, I had basically no money, bro. And then all of a sudden I had like a couple 5 figures, and I was like, holy shit, I can actually do this. And that's when I realized like the power of following your rules. It is insane. Like, you might take just straight losses for a week and with following your rules, and then you're like, fuck this rule shit. I'm gonna go back in there. I'm gonna take 10 trades a day, no stop loss. And then you're just gonna end up in the same spots. Like, stick to it for 1 month. I don't know how many trading days that is, like 21 trading days, some shit like that. I think it's 21, 22 trading days in a month. If you can't stick to that for 20 days, bro, you don't want it bad enough. Let's be fucking real. Just think about the alternative and be like, okay, if I don't follow my rules right now, I'm gonna work a job for the rest of my life. I'm gonna call another dude boss, and he's gonna decide when I eat lunch and for how long I eat my lunch. And I'm gonna make shit money doing it. Like, please, bro. Let's be adults here. Let's grow up. Let's start following our fucking rules. Okay? All right, this turned out to be a pretty long video. Hopefully you guys have the discipline to actually fucking watch it. And then I'll make more videos later. I don't want to make this an hour-long video because none of you are going to watch it. So, hope that was helpful. I'll make more videos in the future. And, yeah, be a good boy this week and follow your fucking rules.